Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing the latest developing stories. We start with this report claiming that Barca have made initial contacts with this Manchester City defender, Laporte, who wants to leave the club, according to a new report. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then, secondly, talking about Frankie de Jong, as it has been reported that the Barca superstar still does not want to leave amid strong Manchester United interest, according to Fabrizio Romano. We are also going to be discussing on that report. So guys, as we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. In a major development, Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo is reporting that Manchester City defender Aymerick Laporte is keen on leaving the club in the summer and is prioritizing the transfer to FC Barcelona. It is further claimed that the two parties have already made initial contacts to inform each other of their willingness to carry out the operation in the summer. However, any move would be subject to Barca's financial fair play issues being dealt with effectively. Laporte has been on Barca's radar, for a while. Links over a move had surfaced in the past few transfer windows, but never amounted to anything. But there could be a major opportunity for Barca this summer, as the Spanish international is understood to be disappointed with his lack of prominence in Pep Guardiola's side in England, with the likes of Ruben Dias and Nathan Ake being favoured more. Hence, it is being claimed that Laporte is looking for an exit in the next transfer window and sees a move to Barcelona as an ideal switch. The Blaugrana, for their part, are aware of the former Athletic Club star's preference and have already started working in the background over a possible transfer in the summer. A left-footed centre-half was something that Xavi and the management were keen on signing before next season. Athletic Club's Inigo Martinez is a player that they are looking at, but his age and fitness has raised some concerns. That, coupled with Laporte's potential availability, has led to Barca reducing their interest in Inigo Martinez and focusing on the Manchester City ace. There has been contact between the club's sports department and Laporte's entourage to affirm each other's interests in the move. However, at the same time, the move could only be feasible if City let him leave for an affordable fee and the financial fair play issues at Barca are being resolved. After all, La Liga president Javier Tebas recently warned Barcelona that they might not be allowed to sign any player unless their wage bill is drastically reduced. Manchester City, for their part, have been happy to let players leave if they do not wish to stay at the Etihad. So, Laporte, whose contract runs until 2025, could be allowed to depart as long as Barcelona's offer is deemed acceptable. The operation is at a very nascent stage, and it will certainly be interesting to see how things progress from here on in the coming weeks. Apart from Laporte, Barca also hold an interest in two other Man City stars in Bernardo Silva and Ilkay Gundogan. Of course, Barca and their records with Man City players is second to none. When you talk about players being linked from City, it is just incredible. I can't count the number of City players that we have been talking about in our transfer news. Of course, Aymerick Laporte, this is not the first time we have been talking about this guy linked to the Barca. Of course, I think he's a very good defender, and of course, as we know how Pep Guardiola does his thing, there are some seasons that the player plays nearly all matches. There will be another season that Pep will not even fancy you. So Pep is that kind of a guy that wants to ensure that everybody have their own time to enjoy. Laporte now is not a happy man, according to reports, as his lack of minutes have made him to be so annoyed. And reports are claiming that he wants to leave Manchester City. And of course, knowing fully well that Barca have been showing a long interest in him for the last two summers, he have offered himself to Barca. He wants to play for Barca. And definitely, we all know that Barca are looking for another centre back, especially a left-footed one. And Laporte is also left-footed, so I think this have just made it more easy for Barca to start focusing more on Aymerick Laporte than how they were doing with Inigo Martinez, who is more older than Aymerick Laporte. Of course, definitely you will favor a younger player than an older one. So yeah, so let's see how it goes when it comes to this guy. He's a proven defender who have seen his exploits playing in the Premier League for the past 3 or 4 years. I think he's doing so well, but now he has not had a great season because Pep does not fancy him, fancy other players in the center of the park. Then on to the final story of discussion. It is no secret that Manchester United were probing and pushing for the signing of Barca midfielder Frankie de Jong last summer. The Red Devils were intent on signing the Dutchman at the insistence of manager Erik ten Hag, but the 25-year-old refused to leave. Having stayed put at Spotify Camp Nou, the young has evolved into one of the most pivotal stars or parts of Xavi's plans, so much so that the Blaugrana now regard him as an untouchable within the squad. At the same time, however, Ten Hag continues to dream of reuniting with his former Ajax ward at Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano, via Caught Offside, reports that the Manchester United manager would love to have Frankie in his ranks at Old Trafford. However, for such a move to happen, the midfielder would have to tell Barca that he wants to leave the club. And Romano adds that De Jong is not thinking at all about such a possibility as he is very happy in Catalonia. He said, Erik ten Hag lost Frankie De Jong. We know that very well, he said. It's normal he would love to have Frankie at Man United, but I always mention the same thing since last June. It's on Frankie to decide his future. And at the moment, he has not told Barca that he wants to leave. He's happy in Barca, and so there are no changes at this stage. Frankie de Jong has always maintained that he wishes to stay at Barca and achieve success with the club, and things are certainly looking bright for him and the club this season despite their disappointing run in Europe. Indeed, Barca have already won the Spanish Super Cup and are all well on track to leave La Liga, having opened up a 9 points lead over Real Madrid. At the same time, they also have one foot through to the finals of the Copa del Rey. Given that Frankie de Jong has been critical to the team's form and that he's very happy where he is, an exit in the summer is unlikely to be on the table, and Ten Hag and Manchester United will once again have to face disappointment in the pursuit of the Dutchman. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.